I want to turn to the practical ways you can mark your makes. These are the tools, techniques, and everyday solutions that I use when I'm sewing and documenting my garments. I want to talk about the physical labels and markings inside the object. So, one of the first things that come to mind are garment tags. These are things that you can put in the back or even in the side seams of a garment that will identify some important stories or certain that will identify important facts about the garment. Here's ways to do that. My grandmother had these little ribbon labels that said made by Nana or made with love by Nana, made with love by Edna. And she had those and she would stitch those into our clothes. This is a very common way. You can order these from different places like Clotilda. They used to order them through mail order. Catalogs would have them. So this is very popular. Printable fabric sheets has been an innovation where you can get inkjet paper, inkjet printable fabric that you can put inside an inkjet printer, and it will last and be water resistant. And there's different ways that you can help stabilize the ink on the page, but that works with inkjet printers. Sublimation printing is another way to do it. I have been doing sublimation for several years, many years now. And there is a two-part episode of the podcast about sublimation printing. But what sublimation allows you to do is to do photographs. You can really include some details, as I'm showing here in a shirt that I made back in 2019. This is another shirt that I made in 2020, and it has a family photo in the pattern label. So these are examples of how sublimation printing can work. Now, another thing that's pretty exciting is that there is also a way to do this tagless. There are some folks who have that the tag in the back of a garment is very irritating, that you can print important information directly onto the garment and it won't have any type of residual, won't be like a raised tag itching or irritating the person that's wearing it. And there's three ways that I think you can do this. The most recent one that I have been using is DTF printing. So DTF stands for direct to film. It allows you to create really cool, you can do some good simple illustrations in DTF. It doesn't have the same detail and photographic realism as sublimation printing has, but it does give you a cute, fun, bright way that you can add the sizes. I put some in the back of the undies that I make, and it'll have just as a cute little fun thing. So, but it also is a nice way. Well, mine say Lisa Woolfork loves you so much with SEW. And this goes in the back of the things I make for my spouse and kids, and for myself too. I know they're mine, but they're mine now since I put my mark on them. But it's less than about, it's more about for me knowing when I made something as well. So I tend to usually include the date